Look, everybody knows Susan Rice, of course, has a history of really being a pawn, if you will, of saying things that are not true about international affairs, certainly with Benghazi.
Right.
And this is why President Trump is the president. Right. We get it. It's astounding to me, though, that they still are present, speaking as though they've been dropped in from Mars and had nothing to do with the last 8 years.
Right.
And I think, though, that the president is focused in this regard, and I understand everybody's got opinions about the nature of what's occurring here, but I can tell you this, and what had a big impact, and we know it did on President Trump, is Otto Warmbier.
Right.
So if we're going to be speaking about whether or not Kim Jong-un is reasonable and if we can live with a nuclear North Korea, the answer to that, of course, is no. And I think that if we remember the nature of what they did to that young man, sent him back almost as a slap in the face after they killed his brain.
Right.
These are crazy, maniacal, genocidal individuals who exist in a very interesting way in a sort of religious dynamic, as the Islamists do, with the one family being, of course, worshipped in a religious way. And I think that there's a recognition to that when it comes to issues of death and resurrection and all of that.
Yeah, they do. Otto Warmbier, just to remind people, he was a U.S. citizen who was basically questioned to death by that regime, and then, as you say, shipped back.
Because he took a banner. He was trying to, like, getting a souvenir, and they tortured him to death.
You brought up Susan Rice's record on Benghazi. Isn't the choice for the basket case states of the world, do you want to be Kim Jong-un or do you want to be Colonel Gaddafi? Colonel Gaddafi cooperated with us after the Iraq invasion. He gave up his weapons of mass destruction, and he did what the West told him to do, and for his pains, he died very violently in a ditch in the bloodiest way, chased out of his presidential palace, and with his regime collapsed. If you do what Kim Jong-un does, they can't give you the Gaddafi treatment.
Well, look, I think, though, that we do have the precedent has been set that whether you, and we learned when it came to Gaddafi that there was actually a nuclear program and all kinds of things we didn't know, and of course, because we're all being lied to.
Right.
The UN has been ineffectual. We're it. We are the premier power, and this is about not just saving ourselves, but there are 200,000 North Koreans in concentration camps in North Korea. This is a human rights issue, but we do have the precedent where we can get someone to get rid of their weapons of mass destruction, as you said. It is not unprecedented, and by the way, even if it was, this nation does unprecedented things all the time.